Okay.
Is it hammers, saws? Oh, it's levels. It's been a while.
Jesus.
Okay. 3-week hiatus. Wow.
Have we ever done that before?
I don't think so. I mean, last time we went to the UK, we were going to, but then I broke down and we recorded an episode.
Hold on. Whoop, real-time correction. We did a 3-week break back in November of 2023.
Oh, that's right. I think that's when we were in Rome, Italy. I don't know. They all run together.
Amy and I are headed to Italy next month.
Huh. Must be something about going to Italy that wants us to take a break.
Take a break? Do we
Well,
choose to take a break?
yes. Well, no, I mean, I was told that I didn't want to record on that trip.
Huh. I've been told the same. I've been told the same thing. I told that I don't want to record. Yes.
Yeah. Well, sounds like we better get going on putting things in the can. Hey, Danny, are you free the next couple of Wednesday nights?
Boy, I sure hope so. It's a good thing there are 1,500 songs in the Taylor Swift catalog. Hi, toddlers. Welcome to Talking to Todd, weekly podcast with Dwayne Johnson and Todd Prinz, where failure is always an option. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Todd.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going to be a good one. Can already tell.
Got off to a roaring start. I just keep thinking this is dress, right? Like this is dress, and then we bring in a whole new audience. So after this, we decide what to cut, what to leave in, how to reorganize,
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Nobody will ever hear whatever happened at the beginning, assuming I take the time to actually edit it.
So I hope everybody enjoyed all of that. Also, this is we've been off. We've been off for 3 weeks. I went on a big trip. You guys went on a trip. Might as well tell the affiliates now. Hey, you're going to hold some time because we're going to be going long. I suspect.
We went long on the last one. The last episode was that we actually recorded live.
Yeah,
plausibly live, was the 5th anniversary show, and we went long there too.
Yeah. Well, we had 5 years worth of stuff to put nominally into that show. Anyway,
had to play all the hits.
and then also went on for another hour after that. Okay, so I believe we start with feedback, follow-up, and updates.
I don't remember how we do this. I don't know. Because when we started, I had to reboot, and then you had to. It's going to be a great show. Oh, I'm so looking forward to this.
It'll be interesting to see what actually makes it on the airwaves, as they say.
Toddler number 1. The cold open for the anniversary show where the computer can't tell dates. That was pretty funny.
And 100% true.
Yes. Yeah. No. That was live. Yeah. We had a plan, and then the plan, things happened. Yes.
I mean, to be fair, though,
yeah,
we were simply, we were asking the computer to do we were asking to count. Computers, I believe, aren't very good at, wait, never mind. Hey, how much is in my checking account right now? Well, it depends on when you ask. Here's a number. Here's a number. Here's a number. Nope, don't like that either. So, okay. What else we got?
However,
yes,
the American Airlines episode Out of Time,
yes,
was not funny.
Oh,
it was painful.
Oh, okay.
And here's the thing. Normally, Amy says, some of those are your best episodes.
Yeah.
All you did that entire show was read numbers. She's not an auditory learner. So just throwing numbers at her, not good content.
Okay.
For Amy. I don't know if anybody else enjoyed it, but it was it was plain to see for Amy that was not an enjoyable show.
So she's saying we crashed on that one.
Yeah, I was winging it.
Okay. All right. That's 3. Moving on.
So don't do that anymore. Don't just read numbers. Okay.
6, 22, 5.
Omaha.
That's not a number.
Oh, could be from Doug from the Idiot Toddlers. Congratulations on 5 years. You guys can claim your prize as guests on Educated Idiots by going to this website, and he sent me the website for the Great Iowa Treasure Hunt.
Oh.
Which I believe is where you still have $11 hanging out there somewhere.
Apparently, yes.
It's not worth a headache. Did you get the stuff that Yvonne sent?
Which one? Yes. They took a trip to Arizona.
They did. And when she was in Arizona, there she stands on the side of the street. And going by in front of her is a school bus for the Tuba City Unified District. Ta-da! We didn't just make this up. It is a real place. You could stop by and see us, except don't do that.
Yes.
Please don't do that. She also saw Waymos.
Not just saw one, they rode in one, right?
Well, they saw their first Waymo and they interviewed the couple that was getting out of the Waymo.
Got it.
As good correspondents are wont to do.
Hey, here's a good story.
Biggest benefit in their eyes, there's no tipping. You don't have to talk to some rando. And it was reasonably priced. So, I don't know. But Yvonne's like, I love how our entire trip to Phoenix was punctuated by talking to Todd references.
You're welcome, or I'm sorry. I'm not sure which one applies.
Let's see. Jake, Toddler, Matt Damon. Congratulations on your 5-year anniversary. I was just screaming at my phone during the Glen Allen Hill story. Here's the thing, in all caps. I was at Wrigley that day.
Oh.
It was his first game sitting in the bleachers. We're in left field, and one of my buddies is in the concourse on a beer run and missed the entire thing. It was an otherwise terrible pitch. It was otherwise terrible pitching and defensive display, but I remember thinking, there's no way that that's happened before. He was pretty much flat-footed when he hit it, and the ball was still climbing when it went over our heads.
So Jake spent more time in Wrigley Field that day than that ball did.
Fair. Yes. Let's see. Oh, Josh, the Dino Toddler?
Yes.
While he's visited the Okoboji area, he never spent the night there. So as far as he knows, he's never put down a utility deposit.
Different Josh Prince. Okay, well.
But I hear it's super easy to get money from the Great Iowa Treasure Hunt. Also, he spent a week in New York City this weekend for spring break. So they went to go see Maybe Happy Ending, The Great Gatsby, and Operation Mincemeat.
I'm starting to realize people listen to us. So I mean, we're going to do a recap a little later about stuff from our trips. But Josh, we're happy to hear your feedback as well on all 3 of the shows. But obviously, Operation Mincemeat so far has been for at least part of this show.
And they took Amtrak from Elkhart, Indiana, into New York City.
How many days did that take?
Just a day. But I told him, well, that's yet another reason why you're a Talking to Todd listener.
Gotta ride the trains.
Train lover. That's right. There it is.
Yeah.
He said, we normally drive or fly, but it's fun to do Amtrak every 5 years or so. That's about the amount of time it takes for you to forget how frustrating it is.
Yeah.
So there's that. Let's see. Was there other feedback that we got?
I don't believe so. I think that was it.
Okay. You guys are all caught up. Okay. Good.
Actually,
that I had, most of that 5th anniversary show aired unedited.
Yes.
Which means the cuckoos were definitely off.
A little bit. Yeah.
And by that, I mean the cuckoos, you and me.
The trick you normally apply of here's an explicit word, then play the cuckoo following it, and then in the edit,
move it.
Snip out the explicit word and move the cuckoo up. Only works if in the edit that is done. Instead of covering up the word, it almost is like hanging a lantern on it. Did he just say cuckoo? Yes, he did. Yep, I may have missed it, but nope, you called it out.
How about some follow-up?
Sure, yeah, let's get to that.
The Talking to Todd bracket, the CBS bracket?
Okay, sure. Yep, let's go ahead and talk about that. Sure.
Toddler Matt Damon was the big winner.
Hey, congratulations.
And Amy was number 2. Amy and Jake tied, actually, on total points, and Jake won on the tiebreak.
Okay.
I ended up 4th. You ended up 9th. And had Duke won, you would have won. You were leading for quite a while. I don't know if you knew this or not.
Oh, no. I was following it while on the trip. And going into the Final Four, I was in first place. And as long as Duke won, I was going to win. And then all 3 picks then I managed to go over in the Final Four and final game, and watched a guy. I went from 1st to 9th, plummeted very, very quickly. So
our Talking to Todd Drake B bracket,
yes,
scored 46 points.
Okay.
The winners, by the way, scored 153. We beat exactly one person, which was Susan, and Susan picked the Bulldogs to win it all.
And that was not a successful strategy.
It was not.
Okay.
No, but she got one right that a lot of people missed. I also had some box office Broadway follow-up. You quizzed me at one point about the highest grossing Broadway shows of all time.
Yes.
George Clooney with Good Night and Good Luck grossed $3.3 million the last week of March.
Wow.
Which is a new Broadway box office record.
And it's not because they had a lot more seats for sale. If to make the money, it's the number of seats times the ticket price. And if you can't increase the number of seats, then your other lever to pull is ticket price.
Right. And then it's also important to parse the category, because that is most money in a non-musical play during a single week on Broadway. So it's also, and it's a decent sized theater. So, and we can talk about that later. So, but the previous record, do you know what the previous record was, Todd?
For a non-musical play?
Yes.
Billy Crystal's one-man show.
That's a really good guess. It's not right.
No, it's not. No
the
chance.
previous record was set 2 weeks earlier by the new production of Othello, starring Denzel Washington and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that was stupid expensive.
Yeah, it was really, really bad. And prior to that, it was held by Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. So there's that.
Okay.
If you were curious, Broadway numbers. I just read a whole bunch of numbers on the radio. Sorry, Amy.
We've been told. We've been told.
Don't do that.
Instead, what we should be doing is explaining a graph on an audio thing. Okay, so you've mentioned a bar.
This is a bar. This is a chart of my favorite bars, and this is a bar of my favorite charts. Yes. Yeah. This is a pie chart of my favorite bars and a bar chart of my favorite pies.
There you go.
That's what it is.
Now
it took me a minute. I got there.
Okay. And then I think the other one here, you had here wrap up on fundraising for the race in London.
Yeah, well, and the race in London.
Yes. So really quick, I'm just updating the page here. So in time for the race, we raised 372 pounds, British pounds, which is north of, what is that?
Hey Siri.
Oh, don't do that. GB. That is $486. That we raised for Centerpoint as a group. So thank you to all of that. Thank you to everybody who donated. Really appreciate it. I think overall, the Centerpoint, raised, I want to say 95,000 pounds from the race. And I think overall, the entire event, raised 17 million pounds for all the different charities across all of it, which is a big number. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's great. I completed it. So did finish. That was good. I'll have a little bit more in-race reporting about things that I learned. The thing I learned this week. I will share a little bit of that later in the show. I believe Danny had challenged me he just wanted me to finish under 2 hours. And I think I finished 1:57 something.
David wanted you to jump on a table and scream "Go Bills." Did that happen?
It did, but Lisa didn't get it on video. So I'm just going to take my word for it. Yeah. I will say this. There were 23,000 people in this event. It was wild.
Yeah, you sent me a picture with all of them in the photo.
Yeah. The starting area, we lined up on Whitehall and so I was standing in front of sort of Downing Street, 10 Downing Street there. You take off, once you pass the start, you're running right towards Big Ben, and then as soon as you get to Big Ben, hey kids, look, Big Ben. You hang a left, and you go across the bridge, and then you get across the bridge, and then you do a U-turn, and you run right across the bridge again, and then you make a right, and then run all the way down to Tower Bridge, and then go through. I will say with 23,000 runners, there was a lot of people there for support of over the 13 miles. I would say there were people lining the route for 2/3 to 3/4 of it. Literally had people lined up shoulder to shoulder. Most of the places there weren't people was the places in the shade. So people were standing in the sun. At one point I was running along, and because I see Danny got in my head. I'm like, 2 hours. Okay, I'll try to do this. I went out too fast. That was a mistake on my part. Anyway, I was running at one point and I'm like, man, the Tower of London has to be here somewhere. I mean, God, where is it? And I looked to my right and it was literally I was already halfway past it. And I'm like, oh, hey, Tower of London. Yeah, there you go. Oh, hey, that's where Prince Charles played soccer as a kid. Anyway.
Oh, right down there. Yeah. Or you ran right by there. Hey, how about that?
So there's people everywhere. One of the things that threw me off really early in the run, I'm running along first 2 miles or something, and some guy with a strong British accent just is like, "Way to go, Todd!" And I'm like, "Who the hell was that? How would he?" And then somebody else is like, "You got this, Todd." And I'm like, I don't understand what. Oh, my bib, my race number had my name on it. And so people along the route were being very, very nice, and they were using your name to encourage you. And that happened a lot because at first it freaked me out of like, how do you, anyway.
Go Mexicans?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't do that.
Did you find out why?
No, I just saw a bunch of other people with Wave 3 Mexican. I have no idea. Didn't really want to ask either. We ran past a station of the London Fire Brigade. The entire fire station was out cheering everybody. I mean, it was a great atmosphere. The last mile, they put up the barriers, and it's 3 or 4 people deep, which is wild because it's just a charity thing. But it's like, oh, this is what like athletes get to experience. And then the last mile, I was just like, the entire time I was like, damn you, Danny, because I ran the first part way too fast. And now it's just like, I just got to finish because I'm gassed. This is not ideal. But anyway, it was a great race. It was good weather. There's some more things that happened. Again, we'll cover that a little bit later. But thank you for everybody who donated. I've gotten some multiple emails from the charity thanking everybody for the support, and so really appreciate it. And running through London on closed streets, highly recommend. Running through London on open streets, not as much. Although I will tell you, because we were there, normally when I go to run, we go and I run immediately, and then I have 2 weeks after to not worry about it. In this case, we went 2 weeks before the run, so I had to get my training runs in. So there was like an 11-mile run through London when we first landed that I had to get in. And so I had to go along the river or whatever. And part of it was I was running along the north bank of the river down by Chelsea, look over, across the river, there's the American Embassy. And I'm like, hey, that's where the ambassador is. And also the agency. And that like
you could stop into the McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, there's like 6 shows I'm watching. All take place in there right now. All right, where are we at? Oh my goodness, we're way on time. We should keep going.
Should we do some new content?
Yes, let's do that.
And I'm here,
Yas Queen,
to remind Todd of the mess Todd made when he answered wrong. Todd ought to know.
That's right. Our new favorite theme for Todd Ought to Know. This Todd Ought to Know comes courtesy of Toddler Negative 18.
Okay.
Because she sent me a periodic table with the headline, "Can I Lick It?"
Okay.
And all of the elements of the periodic table are color-coded.
Yeah.
As to whether or not you should lick them.
Yeah, so real quick.
Yes.
Those are 2 different questions. Can I lick it? And should I lick it?
That's so there's a bunch of them that are green.
Okay.
Labeled, sure, it's probably fine.
I love that idea though. It's probably fine.
Probably fine, right? Yellow, maybe not a good idea. Red, you really shouldn't. And purple, please reconsider.
Okay.
So I have picked 6 of these plus a bonus.
Okay.
To ask you about. And I want you to tell me whether, sure, it's probably fine, maybe not a good idea, you really shouldn't, or please reconsider.
Okay. Just quick in my head.
Yes.
Am I answering it in would I do it or would I suggest somebody else do it? Because those are
somebody else. Because your answer is no.
Yeah. Okay.
There was 8. There were 8 no's there, and there are only 7 questions because that's how you would answer.
Well, because one of them was hell no, but anyway. Okay. All right, let's do this.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you do you want me to tell you the letter or do you want me to tell you the name of it?
Well, when you said I have a periodic table, I'm like, oh, this is going to be terrible. And then you're like, and whether you can lick it, I'm like, that's better than me listing out, here's a letter, tell me what it stands for. Yeah.
Do you remember anything from your year with Mr. Broman?
Mostly, no. I'll just say this. No. Anyway,
no?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So do you know?
You give me the letter, I'll try to come up with it real quick, and if not, then we can move on.
Okay, W. Number 74, W.
W. Wentium.
Tungsten.
Okay.
Should you lick it?
And am I saying yes or no, or am I telling you the color that it needs to be?
The color. Let's go with color.
Tungsten. I'm gonna say tungsten is yellow.
It's green. It's probably fine.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Next on the list, number 15, P.
Well, I'm gonna say this: don't lick P.
Don't. The Blarney Stone. Don't lick the Blarney Stone.
P. P's not phosphorus, is it?
P is phosphorus.
Okay. Oh, yeah, we're going to say put that in the purple zone.
According to this chart, it's only yellow.
Really?
Yes, because some of the other things on here are really bad.
Holy crap. If you're okay to lick phosphorus, holy crap. Okay. All right.
Maybe not a good idea. Remember, yellow is maybe not a good idea. To lick it, not swallow it, not ingest it, just lick it. Right?
Yeah. All right.
Number 16, S.
Is that sulfur?
It is sulfur.
Red.
Green. Sure, probably fine.
Okay. I'm really bad at this. Which is, again, by the way, if you're bad at this, your default answer should be no.
And yet.
Again, this is sort of you're out in the wild.
Yes.
Do you know which berries you can eat and which ones will kill you? If you do not know, the answer on every berry is no. Okay.
How about number 17, Cl?
Chlorine?
It is chlorine. Very good.
Purple.
Chlorine is red. You really shouldn't.
I deal with a lot of chlorine product because of the pool and the hot tub. And what I can tell you is if that's you really, like, just from the smell and like, okay, all right.
Number 86, Rn.
I don't know. Is that radon? No.
It is radon. Wow. You know what? You get a bell for that one. Nice. Radon. Your guess on radon?
I'll call that one purple.
That one is purple.
Yeah.
Very good. Yes.
Yeah.
Please reconsider. Do not lick radon.
Yeah.
How about number 92, U?
Uranium.
Uranium is U.
Purple.
It is yellow. Maybe not a good idea.
Holy crap.
Yeah, right?
Is this quiz called Thinning the Herd? Is that
Again, can I lick it? Can you? Sure. Can you? Sure. Should you? Number 19, K.
Potassium.
That is potassium.
Sorry, I'm going to go with purple on this one.
Potassium is red. You really shouldn't.
The thing I remember, you asked if I remember anything about Mr. Broman's chemistry class. The thing I remember about potassium is I believe potassium, what you're not supposed to do is put it down the toilet and flush it because it reacts violently with water and will separate the toilet from the wall and the plumbing, which then leads me to your tongue has moisture on it. Do you want that to occur? And this is red.
Yes.
Would you say red, but not purple?
Yeah, you really shouldn't.
React violently.
Yeah. Last but not least, number 88, Ra.
Oh. RN was radon.
Do you remember?
Radium.
What's that?
Radium?
It is Wow. Do you remember is it Greg? The guy that does the abbreviation of the states bit. Have you ever seen this?
I don't think so.
The crack team that the Postal Service put together to abbreviate the states because they used to be all over the place, right? Florida was FLA.
Yep.
Utah was Utah, UTA, right? There was no consistency. There was no rhyme or reason. So they assembled this crack team of rogues and ne'er-do-wells. How do well? Ne'er. They ne'er did well. It is really, really funny. You should spend 6 minutes watching him talk about this documentary that they made.
Okay.
In, I want to say 1971. So I will. Anyway, when I got to radon RN and radium RA, it brought back that little bit that he did. You should go find that. He did it on Letterman. So look up Letterman state abbreviations. That's your Google search.
Okay.
And it'll pop right up. It's really, really funny.
And you said uranium was yellow.
Yes.
Radium. I mean, I want to go to purple again, but I keep using purple, so I'll say red on radium.
Radium is purple.
Jeez.
I didn't keep track of whether or not you got them right, but you got so many of the abbreviations right. You get a bell for this week. Nice work. Welcome back.
Luckily, I work in a field where that's useful information.
How about a couple of travel stories?
Sure. Yeah. Let's see. Luckily, we don't have a ton of travel stories from our 2-week trips. Just a couple things. A couple of weeks ago, you talked about you guys were talking with other people who were going on your trip to Italy and Greece, and you guys were having the conversation about need to get some like Canadian flag pins.
Yes.
And, to disguise yourself. And I said, don't worry about it. It's not that. Everybody can spot the American, like it, whatever. And I said, the loudest person on the train, in the restaurant, on the street is always the American. What I will tell you is we have tested that numerous times on our trip, and it is 100% accurate. The person talking incredibly loudly on the tube, boom, American. Person talking incredibly loudly on the bus, boom, American. A person talking incredibly loudly, whether you want to hear their stories or not. Tech bros from America, boom, in the Indian restaurant. Yeah. Trust me, it's like, I don't care whether you're wearing the Canadian flag. You know who they are. Also, we were walking down Oxford Street, and it said, "Hey, a new store is coming." And Lisa's like, "Oh, I don't think they've been here before. This is kind of a big deal." Yeah, it's Bath and Body Works. And I'm like, I'm being trolled here.
You could go in and suggest some fragrances.
Like, are you kidding me?
I heard I could get blank space.
And by the way, just to recap, speaking of, we do enjoy the trains. There was a train ride from Heathrow. Let's see. So there's a train ride from Heathrow to London the day that we landed, back and forth, and then another one into London, London to Manchester, Manchester to Manchester Airport, Lake District to Edinburgh and back, Lake District to Liverpool and back, and then Manchester Airport to Manchester to London. So we got in a number of made sure we had plenty of train rides in there. A very nice way of just traveling and not having to drive around. So yeah.
So you didn't rent a car this trip?
Oh, we did.
Oh, you did that too.
To get from Manchester Airport to the Lake District, there was a car rental.
Ah, okay.
But we did take the trains on a little bit longer trips from the Lake District, just so that one, didn't have to drive all the way to Edinburgh, and two, like going to Liverpool, it's not that bad of a drive, but then you're in a city and you got to find a place to park and all of that stuff. It was actually cheaper to take the train than it probably would have been to park the car in Liverpool for the day. So anyway, doing that. So
are you getting comfortable driving?
I don't drive.
UK?
I don't drive. No. Lisa drives.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she has a British.
You told us if you get comfortable.
Yeah. You're doing it wrong. Yeah. No. She has a British driver's license and everything. So what's interesting is, so she drives. I have driven over there before. Lisa's more comfortable when she's driving than I'm driving over there. Let's put it that way. There's still stories that are told about how I nearly killed us. I don't think it's that bad, but she will tell you we're lucky to be here. So she does the driving. What's really funny is, so she did the driving. We're over in England, come back, and then we land, and then we get a rental car to come back down to the undisclosed location. And we immediately get in the car, and Lisa's comment was, she goes, "This is so weird, because we're sitting in the exact same spots we were sitting in England, but she no longer has the steering wheel."
No wheel in front of her.
I do. So we sit in the exact same spots, but just depending on the country depends on who has the wheel to drive the car. Yeah. The the last thing I'll point out, one of the reasons why we went there, just not that we need a reason, it was our 20th wedding anniversary, and so we were doing all of our most fun things to do, and on the day of our anniversary, we went to our favorite place to get breakfast, which is near where her office used to be when she worked over there. So it's a locals place, not a tourist place. We took a boat cruise on the Thames and had afternoon tea on the boat.
Yeah.
So that was nice. Went to what used to be our favorite Indian restaurant for lunch. We did that. And then, since it was our last night, we went and saw Book of Mormon, which we'll talk about later. But yes, finished up anniversary night watching Book of Mormon. So you guys went to New York. How about any trip notes from there?
We did. We stayed at a hotel that's right at Times Square. Don't need to do that again.
Hey, it's centrally located to everything.
And all the people. Some of the people? No, not some. All the people are in Times Square. You think it's just like that? If this is how busy it was on a random Thursday, I can't imagine what it's like when the ball drops. You know what? One block over is fine. One block over is busy and not insane. Times Square is insane. And I've been there before, and I know it's insane. This was Amy's first experience. She's like, nope, don't need to. Nope, I don't. Nope. We had to walk from the hotel to one of the shows, which was straight through Times Square. She's like, can we not go through Times Square to go to Aunt Juliet? I'm like, sure, yeah. Right through Times Square. Off we go. Hang on, babe.
We can. We're not, but we can.
Should you? No.
Yeah.
Have I ever told you the story about how we do the zoo in Des Moines when Lucas was little?
I don't believe so.
It was more of a checklist.
Okay.
So we would go check on the penguins. Yep, penguins are still there. Boom. Next. That's about how long we would spend. At each of this, check on the tiger. Yep, tiger's still there. Boom, check it off. Yep, is the seal still there? Yep, 2 of them. Yep, check the box. Ride the train. Check the box. Right. That's how we did the zoo when Lucas was little. Boom, 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 boom. We were efficient. We didn't spend a whole lot of time watching the animals, mostly just checking on the animals. That's kind of how we did New York City because we wanted to cram a lot of things in. Statue of Liberty. Check. Walk across the Brooklyn Bridge. Check. See the bull. Check. See the Fearless Girl. Check. See the 9/11 memorial. Yep. Check. Did you go through the museum? No, that would take too long. And we wanted to leave some stuff for the next time. I've heard it's really, really good, but all we really had time for in this trip, which was 4 days, 3 nights, was walking around the memorial area and not actually going inside. But we got 4 of the 5 boroughs. We rode the Staten Island ferry over to Staten Island and back. Did we leave the terminal? No, we did not. But we did set foot in Staten Island because that's the easiest and cheapest way to get close to the Statue of Liberty without paying an insane amount to take the Statue of Liberty ferry that brings you close to that island. Don't really need to tour. just got close enough. That was fine. Check that box, and it's free.
Is Statue of Liberty still there? Tick.
Bingo, exactly. Walked around Central Park, walked to Tavern on the Green, had a drink at Tavern on the Green. And so just find any place to sit down, right? Get in there, just find some place to sit down in the bar, open seating kind of. And there was a lady sitting across from us in this couch that we found. And she gets on her iPhone and starts having a conversation, FaceTime conversation without headphones.
Yes.
Not an American.
Really?
She was German. And I looked at Amy and I said, I wonder if she needs directions to the library, because I can help with that.
That's what I can do.
It's all I can do. I hope she doesn't.
If you're standing in a very specific place and relative to the library, please follow me, walk with me to this exact spot, and then I will give you directions.
Now I can tell you that it's Glycum Dieca.
Yes.
Right? Yes. It's the only thing I still remember. Rode the subway. I had the taxi ride. We flew into LaGuardia and took a taxi from LaGuardia to the hotel.
Okay.
It was, I feel bad because Amy did not get a true New York City taxi cab experience. There was no lane swerving. There were no curb checks. We didn't drive on the sidewalk. It was calm. It took about an hour and cost us $80. Pretty true to form.
What you did, the true experience is probably that's an extra charge. Hey, by the way, can you give us the real experience? The drive on the sidewalk, hit the curb, honk, swear, all. Yeah, sure. Of course we can do that. It's an extra 40.
On the way back, we got during our trip, we got more comfortable with the subway system in New York City. And so we decided we'll just take the subway back to the airport. Now, the subway doesn't go to LaGuardia. Subway will take you to JFK, but the subway won't take you to LaGuardia. It takes you about a mile from it, and then you hop on a bus, and the bus takes you over to LaGuardia for a free transfer. So for $2.90 each of us, so for $6 we went to the airport, but for $80 we came from the airport.
Yeah.
Now, when I say we got comfortable with the subway, except we got on the subway. Amy and I are sitting on opposite sides of the train because that's where the seats are. She's on her phone. I'm on my phone. Da, 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 da. And I send Amy a text. We're going in the wrong direction. And she looks up. Really? Aha. Huh, okay. It only took me 2 stops to realize that we had gotten on the right train in the wrong direction. So, stop at the next one, change platforms, 15 minutes worth of our lives that we're not getting back. And then the other story about the subway, when you can, I'm sure you can do this, and you just tap to pay to get on.
Yep.
I had my phone set up for the Clipper card in San Francisco for tap to pay. You have to change. Did you know this? This could be Todd's Tech Corner. You have to designate what you're using for tap to pay. You don't even have to turn on in New York City. You don't even have to turn on or double click on paying or whatever. You just hold your phone near the thing and boom, and it hits it and walk on through. But you got to have your phone set up correctly.
Yeah, for that to work, so for that you have to turn on Express Transit in Apple Pay and put a card to Express Transit. Yes.
And I had my San Francisco Clipper card tied to Express Transit.
Yeah, that won't work.
No, it won't. Wrong coast. So we went but I couldn't figure out what was going on, and we needed to get on the train. So we just went over and bought a little card pass thing, right? Just buy one. That's fine. I'll walk through, slide it, walk through, hand the card back to Amy. She'll slide it, reach forward, and push the turnstile so that she can get in. And when you do so, what you get is push, click, and Amy standing on the wrong side of the turnstile. So Kevin the intern got a free ride on the New York subway. She's like, damn it. Swipe again, goes through this time. We're not going to talk about this, are we? Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about this.
Yeah, it feels like something we're going to be talking about.
It's like, this feels like content. No, don't let this be. Yeah, it feels like content. Yeah, it was content. Yep. Turnstiles, good for one person. Good note. And then we saw 4 shows.
Okay.
In 4 days and 3 nights. Thursday night, Friday night, and 2 shows on Saturday before flying home on Sunday. It's a fantastic trip. It was really, really good.
Wow. That's awesome.
Thursday night, we saw the aforementioned Good Night and Good Luck with George Clooney.
And how's George on stage?
The thing about this staging is he spends a lot of time as Murrow talking to the camera and having his face be on big screens, because this guy knows how to use a TV screen, right?
Right.
I mean, he's a movie actor. So he focused in on the camera and it got broadcast. And then they juxtaposed that with actual footage of McCarthy. Right. One of the critiques that I've read is they should have cast somebody as McCarthy, which would give it a real, back and forth kind of. But they didn't. They played the video recordings from the 1950s.
Okay.
So, but we still really, really liked it. It was the best play that we saw the whole time.
Okay. How many other plays did you see?
That was the only play we saw.
Okay, just checking. All right, I needed that for the form.
Just
so
for the notes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was really, really good. Really enjoyed it. It was well done. It was the first thing we saw, and then the next night we saw Operation Mincemeat.
Yes. The highly touted Operation Mincemeat.
It is highly touted. I don't know if you can you see that?
Hey, you've got the signed cast poster over there hung up.
I do. I do have the signed cast poster from the, and we saw the original West End cast.
Yes. Okay, so I've been Lisa and I've been very effusive about it. I don't know, your thoughts.
It was hands down the best thing we saw. And I would say any of the things that we saw could have been on any other year the best thing we saw.
Yes.
We had 4 swings and 4 home runs. 4 fantastic shows. Really enjoyed them all.
Yep.
But this was far and away the best thing that we saw. How they take how these 5 actors play 100 roles, right? Yeah, it's touching when you wouldn't think it ought to be. It is so well done. Had 0 issues with. I was a little worried about accents and catching all of the lines, particularly when things are being sung. And what I only listened to the soundtrack once before we watched it. Before we saw it. So good. Absolutely loved it. I hope it goes on tour because I can't wait to see it again. I hope it's not something that I only get to see once in my lifetime. I loved it that much.
Okay, that's good, because if you didn't like it, Lisa said I couldn't talk to you anymore.
Yeah,
so
this would be the last episode of Talking to Todd because I couldn't be talking to Todd.
It's almost stupid of how good this is.
Yes. You know,
I
and
mean, the how funny it makes things that shouldn't be funny. And then in the middle of the humor, all of a sudden the poignant stuff comes through out of nowhere.
Yep.
And the funny and the poignant are both so good.
And we made a point to watch most of the Colin Firth movie.
Yep.
The week before or a couple of weeks before, knowing that we were going to see this, just to, you know, refresh ourselves on the story.
Yep.
And I think that helped a little bit too. But oh boy, yeah, just absolutely fantastic. And then we saw & Juliet, which was really good. But we saw so many other really, really good things. I put it third on my list. Amy put it second on hers, I think. Or maybe I put it fourth and Amy put it third. I don't remember. But it's been out a while, and it's on tour right now as well, and it's coming to Des Moines, but we're going to miss it when we're in Rome. So Amy wanted to see it, and it was absolutely very, very enjoyable. And then we saw Smash.
Yeah, so how was that? I mean, you've been waiting for this thing for like a decade.
Yes, since 2012, 2013. So, yes. And it's not the show, and it's not Bombshell.
It's its own thing.
It's its own thing. Most of the characters are in the theater production, but not all of them. But it is, once again, it's a theater production about the making of a theater production about Marilyn Monroe.
Right.
One of the ladies, the number 3 actress, was in the original Broadway cast of 6 as Jane Seymour.
Okay.
One of the ladies was in Smash, actually, in season 2.
Okay.
There was that.
She's aware of the material,
right? She was familiar. Across the street from Smash was Death Becomes Her.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which is starring the lady that was in Smash originally. So that was kind of funny. It was fun. I don't know how long it's going to stick around. It's not going to become Wicked or Les Mis or anything. I hope it doesn't become Les Mis. It's not going to. It's for a certain audience. Let's not kid ourselves. But we really enjoyed it, and I thought it was pretty well done. But I don't think it's going to become an all-time classic that gets redone year after year.
Okay. But so it's a good thing that you saw it while it was there.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. And then when we got back, the Drake University Theater Department put on Legally Blonde. And so we went over to Drake and we saw that on Sunday afterwards.
You know, we haven't seen enough shows. Let's go see something.
Let's go see something else. It was fun. Griff the Bulldog was in it. Griff, the Drake mascot, was in the production as one of the 2 dogs in the show. Anyway, and they did a nice job with that. So that was fun too. What did you guys see?
Okay, so there was a change in our plans. We had tickets for, I think, Richard III, and those tickets have become very hard to get. And Lisa bought them and said, "Hey, by the way, we're going to go see Richard III." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, sure." And then she basically said, "By the way, we're not seeing Richard III." And I'm like, "Why?" I mean, I'm okay. She's like, you weren't really excited about it. I wasn't really excited about it. And I sold the tickets for more than I bought them. Because there are people who are really excited to go see this. So that opened up some spots. Anyway, we got to town, got to London from the train and said, "Hey, we've got an open spot." So we went and saw Mamma Mia. I've never seen Mamma Mia.
Really?
I've seen the movie, but not I've never seen the show. I think Lisa and Lindsay went and saw it. So I think Lindsay went in my place some point. Anyway, fun show, right? Just everybody's at one point, it's in a big theater. Right at the end when everybody's singing and they're doing the big, the big
closing number.
I think it's even past the closing number, right? It's kind of the encore, when everybody's singing.
Okay, yeah.
Because we were on the floor kind of near the front, I just turned around and looked up at the audience and the two balconies, and everybody's just having a good time. Everybody's singing and dancing, and it's just like everybody's just there to have fun. So we saw Mamma Mia, and then we went and saw Oliver. So that's a new production on the West End of Oliver. I've never seen the movie and never seen a previous production of it. This is brand new. It's very good. And the guy that plays Fagin, according to Lisa, has brought a completely different concept of Fagin to this. A little bit more playful, a little bit more. And
could you say he brought a twist?
Yeah, you could. Sure. Yeah.
Sorry, please go ahead.
He's actually, I guess he's a member of the Magic Guild as well, because he's like Fagin obviously is,
yes,
has skills.
Yes.
And this guy is doing the skills on stage.
Really?
Yeah. That was very, very good. And then on Friday, we went and saw Operation Mincemeat at the Fortune Theater. And we talked about it before, but man, that's just so good.
How was this cast compared to when you saw the original cast?
Okay, so this is the third time we've seen this. I will say this. The original cast, that's the first. We saw the original cast when we saw it the first time, except for Jack, who plays Hester. Right. We saw Christian, who... So the guy that you saw playing Hester, we've never seen him. He won the Olivier Award for that role.
Yes.
I will say this, and Lisa's pointed out, whoever got that part, and quite frankly, if you don't screw up Dear Bill, you win an award. That part wins awards. Not take anything away from Jack, but anyway, we really, really, really like the cast that you saw. The lead, Natasha, who plays Ewan Montague, she brings an over the top that the people we've seen since don't bring. And given the character, the ridiculousness of over the top is part of the character.
Yeah.
And there's part of me that's just like, I see these other people and I'm like, it's not just their choice. The director must be also say, but it's like, no, you want the ridiculousness of all of that.
Yes.
So we really love the original cast. The other cast, it's like, we loved it. And I walked out of there saying, this is kind of like watching that season of the Dukes of Hazzard when they recast, when they brought in Cody and whoever, right? It's not that bad. The show is still great and they bring some different things, but it's just like, it's close, but you're like, that's a little off.
This is Rebecca, not Diane.
Yes. That said, if you said, hey, Todd, you want to go back and see the cast that you just saw? I would say, yes, let's go back and see it one more time. I mean, it's great. Then on Saturday, I went and saw during the obviously not a West End show. It's an East End football match. I went over to West Ham and watched them play Bournemouth Premier League. West Ham plays in the stadium they built for the Olympics for 2012. So it's London Stadium. So it's the Olympic Stadium they play in.
Oh,
very, very nice. They redeveloped the entire area. There's a river kind of that goes through there. What I'm saying is it's not Crystal Palace. There's nobody peeing anywhere on where they shouldn't be. By the way, just so that you're aware, in talking with Lisa's family, who we saw the previous week up in the Lake District, we were talking about, I've gone to Palace and took Lindsay or whatever, and then gone to the QPR, which is smaller, and then West Ham. And I said, here's the thing. if Lindsay ever wants to go back, I'm not taking her back to Crystal Palace. That was just an atmosphere that it was just a little uncomfortable. I said, on the other hand, if my buddy Dwayne, his wife come over and they want to go see a Premier League match, he's like, where would you go? I'm like, oh, I'm going to take him to Palace. And they said, but you just said it was like an iffy atmosphere. I'm like, yeah, it's English football. You got to see it one time. Like, it's not dangerous. It's just edgy.
It's a New York taxi cab.
Yeah, exactly. Then Saturday, so then football match ends. Get on the train, get back into town, and then we saw The Devil Wears Prada Saturday night, starring Vanessa Williams.
Okay.
So now Vanessa,
is this a musical or a play?
Yes. No, it's a musical. It's a big musical in a very big theater. So now Vanessa Williams is playing the editor, right? It's based off of the movie, right?
Yep.
So she's playing a magazine editor, which she also did in, was it Ugly Betty? In which anyway, it's fine. Here's the thing about that. People generally like it. It's in a very big theater. It's got a big name. The sets are big. The costumes are big. The music's by Elton John. Okay. Which actually at one point I leaned over to Lisa and I said, this sounds like 7 other Elton John pieces of music. I mean, it's definitely Elton. We walked out of there and said, it was okay. It was fine. I mean, I think they're going to have a problem when Vanessa Williams is no longer the star. I don't think you put it in a very big theater, and then we watched a theater critic's review of it and he was talking about it. And we said, here's what I realize is if somebody goes and sees this, it's big music. It's everything that you want from a Broadway or a West End show. But that's in comparison to the night before we saw Operation Mincemeat with 5 people and almost no set, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't the thing that you normally go see. Like you're not awed by all of that, but the heart and the stories that you had in Operation Mincemeat versus here's some songs. Here's some good songs, but at the end of it, do you care about any of the characters more than you did at the beginning of it? No. Was it entertaining? Sure. Did you see a spectacle? Absolutely. Would a lot of people go there and go, that was a great use of our money? Sure. But it doesn't move you the way that Operation Mincemeat did. And it was just like, well, we saw it.
So before we went to Wichita, we had to move. Some Like It Hot came to Des Moines. The national tour of Some Like It Hot came to Des Moines.
Wow.
And so we typically go on Friday night, and we moved our tickets to Wednesday so that we could go, or Tuesday, so that we could go to Wichita and see the Drake Bulldogs play. And our reaction to Some Like It Hot was very similar. Did we enjoy it? Sure. Do I need to see it again? No.
Nope. Which is fine.
Am I glad I saw it? Yes, absolutely. Some of it was fun. Some of the songs were good. The acting was all right. The book was good. They took some different angles than the movie did, right? But I don't need to see this again. Very similar reaction to The Devil Wears Prada.
What I told Lisa was, if you go see something that's really, really bad, you know it's bad, and you're like, that's bad. I said, the stuff that's okay or good, it's fine, has a very, very important role. Because if you said, what's wrong with this? Do the sets need to be bigger? No. Do the costumes need to be bigger? No. Do we need bigger name actors? No. Was the acting bad? No. The songs are good. Combined, it just didn't. I said, but the reason why you have the stuff that's good, it's important because that's how you know that the few that are great. Without the stuff that's good, if you just had crap and great, it's very easy to tell. It's the stuff that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but that it has the extra 2 or 3 pieces that bring it all together.
Yep.
Which, speaking of, Monday night then, Sunday night, we went and saw Six, the movie, the Pro Shot, on opening night in across the UK. There was about 20, 25 people in the theater. Wasn't a huge theater. The theater we went to is right on Leicester Square. It's not the one we saw Spider-Man in. It's down just a little bit. Lisa pointed out, because there's 5 movie theaters around Leicester Square. This is the one that doesn't tell you what movies are playing on the outside, and it doesn't tell you what movies are playing on the inside. We're not even sure how they make any money. They might be doing money laundering there, because you literally don't know it's a theater. Very weird. So everybody who was there to see Six. So it drew a specific crowd. I'm glad that the movie was fun. It's the Pro Shot where they're on stage and getting close-ups as well. So you get to see things you don't normally get to see, not just step back.
Right.
I'm glad it exists. If they ever get around, to releasing it here, we'll buy it. It's great to be able to see it. A couple things came out of it though. One, this is the original cast from the West End. And we were like, the Anne Boleyn, she's playing it a different way than we've seen it done before. Much more melancholy instead of upbeat attitude. Again, she got her head cut off. I understand that. I understand that, but it's
the blonde that played that character when we saw it on tour. Agree. I like that portrayal of the character, and maybe it's just because that's the first time that I saw it was that way. But I've seen slime tutorials.
Yes.
Of the original West End cast, and I agree. Just not as
it just like
yeah. Yep.
The other piece that really hit me, it was interesting. There's times when you're like, oh, I get to see close-ups, and you don't normally get to see this, and it's like seeing a different view of it. At the same time, there were a couple of times where I was almost getting angry because I'm like, I know what is going on stage, and you are focused on the wrong person right now. Or why are you focused on one? This is supposed to be a wide shot. So for instance, when she's doing the walk of that she got married and she's walking down the aisle, instead of pulling out to show you walking down the aisle, you just get a close-up of her holding her hands walking. And I'm like, what are you doing? So there was a couple of things of that. That was fine. Again, super fun. Glad we saw it. The only problem I have is at the end of it, when they're doing their final number, and then they do the encore where they even tell you, let's get your phones out. In the theater of any other show I've ever been to, the end of Six, the entire everybody stands up, it's clapping. The energy of the room is just, I mean, it's more like a concert than it is a theater show, right?
Right.
Here we are in a movie theater. There's 30 of us or whatever. It's dark. And they're like, okay, doing the big last number and everything. And everybody's just sitting there quietly because we're watching a movie. And it was just like, I've been in the theater knowing that this is the point where the crowd just has, and it's like, it's different.
You're supposed to have that Mamma Mia reaction that you talked about earlier.
Exactly. And we don't have it. And I was like, oh, I missed that part about the audience being engaged. That said, you're not going to get that from a movie anyway. So if it comes out in the US, highly recommend. We will buy it. I'm glad they did it. I will probably watch it again one way or the other. At the exact same point, I walked out of there going, God, I want to go back and watch it now live.
It's the best movie you've seen in the last 15 years?
It's in the top 6.
Oh, there you go.
And then the last night that we were there, we went and saw Book of Mormon. It was a Tuesday night. Interesting thing. This is, I think, the 15th time I've seen it, 16th time. Every time we go there, we sit down, and Lisa always goes, this might be the time where we just go, yeah, we don't need to see it again. And in the middle of the second song, she turns to me and goes, "Nope, we're going to see this again." And I was like, "Yes, we are." So the interesting piece is, because of Tuesday night or whatever, basically we saw every character was the swing or the understudy. Every character was like, holy crap, this is a whole, like, this isn't even, these aren't people we've seen before. And it's, except for Elder McKinley, who is the guy we've seen quite a bit. The guy that plays the dad in The Village, we've seen him. He's been there for like 10 years, walked out. It wasn't him. Lisa audibly gasped that it wasn't him. Like, and then she's like, he's not even on the cast anymore. He's gone. Anyway, we got to see some different takes on some things, but it's the thing that we also found out, though, was both Lisa and I came to this conclusion separately, and afterwards we said, was the audience more into it this time than others? And she goes, yeah, I think so. People were laughing much more. Like, and it's an again, live theater. When the audience gets into it, it's like a whole thing. Except for the two people sitting next to Lisa, who didn't come back after intermission. I've been in a couple of shows where this has happened. I've seen that happen at Book of Mormon a couple of times, and the play that goes wrong. Lisa said, she goes, oh yeah, she was into it. The boyfriend, the husband, was clearly not into it. And I'm like, I can 100%, I've seen it 15 times or whatever. I can 100% understand why some people won't like this. It's offensive. There's offensive things in this, not just towards religion, just generally offensive language. But it's been out for a while. Like, at this point,
if you go into this and you're surprised,
that's on you.
It kind of is.
It's like been around for almost 15 years, and you're like, oh, I didn't know what this was about. I don't know. Google it. So there was a point, and I know we're way long. There was a point on Saturday. There was a 30-hour window in which this is what 30 hours look like in London. Premier League game, Devil Wears Prada, Sleep, Run a Half Marathon, Sunday Roast, 6, the movie, in a 30-hour window.
Wow.
Weren't relaxing a lot. This was, let's cram as much as we possibly can in. So anyway. At this point, here's my question. Do we do what we learned? I mean, we're so far over, or should we save what we learned for later, or what do you want to do here?
Well, I can tell you what I learned, because what I learned was really quick.
Okay.
Lucas texted me yesterday. Did you know, Mom, to the family chat, Mom, when you worked at Subway, did you cut the bread in a V? And I responded, because Amy was asleep. She's asleep, but I can absolutely guarantee you that she did the V cut in the bread when she worked at Subway in 1988 and 89. He's like, I never knew that was a thing, because they stopped doing it the year before I was born. Here's the thing. I don't eat at Subway much. The thing that I learned this week is that Subway doesn't cut their bread in a V anymore.
I eat at Subway on a not super regular basis, and I'm like, huh, I did not know that. And I've watched them make a sandwich.
There you go. So anyway, Subway, eat fresh. Is that right?
They have two slogans: eat fresh and we're sorry about Jared. They don't use that one as much.
That's not tuna. No, they don't. No.
Yeah.
What'd you learn this week?
All right. Here's what I learned. Okay, so here's what I learned. Toddlers don't sleep. And the reason why I learned this is a couple of weeks ago, we were talking, we told the story about how Dwayne and Danny blew up my watch while I was running the Zion half marathon, and the battery was dying, and I'm just getting these text messages. I'm like, just stop it. Like, and I believe you said, you made a comment about, we're going to do that at your next one as well. And I said, well, that's going to be the middle of the night for you. And you said, that sounds like a challenge or
yes,
something like that. So I'm in the starting pens, getting ready to go, and the run start got delayed. Anyway, I believe, I don't know if the first one was from you or was from Sherry. Sherry just let me know, just was reminding me before the start of the race. This is what she said. This is her only text message to me. Knock, then pause. And my advice for the typical half marathon advice: don't crap your pants. I thanked her for the words of wisdom. And I thought, that's weird, because that has to be like, I started doing the math, and according to my phone is doing the math, that was probably about 3:15 a.m. Central Time for Sherry to send that.
Yes.
Then you started texting me, which was about 3:15 or 3:20. And then I'm like, my goodness. Then Greg started texting me. He let me know it was time to run swiftly. And then sent me a picture from a screen grab from, I believe, one of Taylor's videos, where she's holding a sign that says, "You okay?" And then throughout the run, and this was very hard to see on my watch, I didn't actually get to, like, I could look at it, but I didn't have my glasses on, and it's a very small screen, so I had to see it later. Throughout the race, Greg was sending me Amazon links to Harlequin romance novels, including number 166, Running Wild, and another one, Run So Far.
Solid work.
Yes. Danny also texted me, I believe, at about 4:15 his time. And then, of course, you and I were having text messages going back and forth, at which point I was sending you photos. At one point I was sending you photos, and then you're like, wait, you haven't started yet, have you? And I'm like,
well, he's not really taking this. This is a charity run. He's snapping photos and sending to me while he's running. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So you haven't even started yet? Nope. And I think I pointed out, you should go back to bed. You're like, well, I'm up now. You then also sent me the same advice. Remember, poll, pause, then open. I also linked you to the place where you could track the run, and then took off. So, and then Amy also texted me. I was trying to make sure I got everybody in here. Yes. And so she also sent me a text message. So in the middle of the night, you guys all got up to, Lisa's like, that's so nice. And I'm like, they are committed to the joke. Like, you got to be committed to the bit.
So I started coordinating that on Saturday afternoon and taught several of them. I'm not sure which ones knew it before and which ones I taught, but
to schedule send.
To schedule send for 3:30 or 4 or 4:30 in the morning, so that you don't have to really get up, but you can send him a text while he's running to encourage him along. And since we had promised that we would text you during the run, I did. Amy scheduled her text. I scheduled several texts, but then also set an alarm. And Amy's like, you scheduled text. Why did you still set an alarm? Because I'm committed to the bit. Music is Happy Boy by Kevin MacLeod. You can subscribe to our award-winning podcast with visiting runner Todd Prinz. He was literally a visiting runner. Todd Prinz, wherever you get your pods, just search Talkin' and the number 2. There's no G and no space. You can stop by and you can take the bus to see us at the Tuba City home office. Please don't do that. Thanks to our listeners, our sponsors, and all our contributors. We're so happy to be back. And if you want to send us your feedback on this episode or any episode, you can send it to feedback@talkingtotodd.com. Todd?
Real quick, the categories of the elements, green, yellow, red, or purple, that we did earlier in the show. Let me ask you this. I'm going to switch it around. Dwayne, Times Square. How would you relay Times Square? Should you lick it?
You really shouldn't. You really shouldn't.
Is that a purple or just a red?
That's just a red. Definitely more than a yellow. Oh, I'm sure we're going to have stuff to clean up next week. We'll be back. We're here. We're talking to Todd.
Yeah, 146. Yeah. No, sure. We don't have that much to cover after 3 weeks off. Yeah, this will be a quick one. We should just knock this out real quick. Yeah, before Lucas gets home. This will be easy.
Easy.
We'll smash it.